check.
Dot, 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 dot.
Just tap the other mic. Cool. We are going audio right now. That one's going right there.
Hey, 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 hey. Okay, cool.
Can you read this over here? It says 305.
Yeah.
Can you see it says 305?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When it says 315, I have to reset that one. All right. I'm good to go. I believe.
Sync.
Oh yeah. Good job.
Sync.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I looked at the camera differently. That's I should. All right. Cool. I feel weird not having an electronic device. It's a problem I have. Cool. All right, Travis. Why am I here?
I don't know. How's your day been?
I feel awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't sleep at all. Thanks to 2-month-old. I hate that noise.
It's like my only talent.
You're not wrong. But
Fuck you. All
right. Fuck. I got to bed last night. Finished watching The Boys. Fuck.
Dude, did you like when he got gill raped?
Oh, that was okay. Okay. I never get okay. Off to the races. So, dude, don't. Oh, you didn't even notice you were doing it.
I just cleared my throat.
Okay,
buddy.
Dude, the sound effects that they do, like during that part, because I knew they were gonna get him back. Like they had to get him back because, like, you know, modern feminism and everything. But like, oh man, the noises that they make, and you feel like it hurt me. Like I was watching that, and the noises that it's just like.
And then he like shaved his head and everything afterwards.
Dude, have you done that before?
What, shaved my head?
Shaved your head, like
yeah,
in a state of like kind of like psychosis or whatever.
Yeah, so I have pictures on my Facebook where I just look like a complete. Either I look like I own a really creepy van, or that I just got out of a group that does not like certain minorities.
So I've shaved my head bald probably 3 times, and it was all like kind of like, I would probably say at the peak of use or drinking, or just like mental collapse. It's just one of those like things you like. I don't know. He does it in The Wall, and that was my first reference. Have you seen Pink Floyd's The Wall?
No.
Okay, you seem like a person who hasn't seen it. There's a part. So The Wall is partially about Syd Barrett. Syd Barrett was the original singer for Pink Floyd, and he did a lot of acid, and he either turned himself schizophrenic or ended up being schizophrenic by, I don't know. I don't know the exact lore anyways. But there's a part in it where he shaves off all of his hair, like eyebrows, all of his hair. And he becomes kind of like a dictator overnight. and then it's like if you haven't seen the film, you don't understand. It, like kind of morphs from like piece to piece, and I always, for some reason, it's one of my no movies. Do you have a no movie? Like can't, like it kind of makes you go into a weird state, or you always watched it when you were super fucked up.
I have no shows.
What is that?
Super Jail.
Super Jail?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not going to talk too much about Super Jail, but Super Jail is a huge inspiration. Well, I'm already talking about it for part of what I'm building, and not Super Jail, not like just the art.
You're building Super Jail.
Yeah.
It's in my basement. Want to come see?
Yeah, I'm building a private prison up on top of this mountain. What the fuck was I originally even on about? Fuck. Oh, shaving head. No, I've shaved my head like 3 times, and each time, it was like drug induced psychosis. But anyways, what I was trying to get at is I look like one of 2 things, which is kind of funny. I get 2 compliments. I either look like I have a pointy head, by the way. Like you can't tell now, but it actually comes to like a fucking point on top of my head. And I either look like a Nazi, which a lot of people when they shave their head look like a Nazi, or since I have a pointy head and it kind of sinks in the center, I look like an emaciated Holocaust victim. It's funny. It's the irony behind that is like I look like one or the other. People say like you look like a fucking Nazi or you look like a Holocaust victim.
So I shaved mine with like actual, of course, electric razors, but then actual straight razors, like
an actual straight razor,
or actual skin shave.
Or
one guy would do it with a straight razor. I did it myself with like regular guarded razors.
Okay.
But one guy would actually do it with a straight.
Like the single piece,
yes,
or the
single piece, fucking
replaceable, or no?
No.
Oh wow, so straight razor is the one you have to hone.
Yeah.
I actually have a story about a straight razor, and I'm not gonna tell, but it involves me and the straight razor with the person I hold dear to my heart, and it was not great. Didn't do anything with it, but
I don't remember you ever doing anything to me with a straight razor.
But I used to carry a straight razor with me everywhere because I was super fucking cool like that. It was kind of like my katana, or
I could definitely see you like making those videos where you're dressed normal, and then you're like, and then I see him lay his hands on the girl I like, and then you're wearing like fingerless leather gloves, a fedora, and you have a katana, and you're just like, this is me angry. You won't like it.
That would require me to care enough about any one thing besides myself.
Well, those guys are all self-involved, right? That just want the feeling of their ego being boosted by protecting somebody.
Yeah. No, it's all self-motivated, but like, okay, I would have to be motivated enough to do that. That's the word I was looking for. So yeah, no sleep. I don't know.
Yeah, we just went on a weird tangent.
I know that was the first question.
So my worst no sleep, I was in like a 3-month psychosis, and I've had people say psychosis doesn't work like that. Well, you're full of fucking shit, because I was in a 3-month psychosis. Even it was like on the teetering of like being in full blown psychosis, and then like there's constantly shadow people, and
like you say, like that people are supposed to relate to that. Shadow people.
So shadow people.
What the fuck are shadow people?
Have heard the terms, but they're literal fucking demons.
Our people have heard those terms. Our people, not most people. We only account for 10% of the population, and not even a full percentage of us know what shadow people are. So, anyways,
y'all need to get y'all's act together then.
What, develop an addictive habit to the point where you start having fucking visual hallucinations?
Yeah. So it started for me with like sleep paralysis, and it started slowly, which by the way, I got like raped by a demon, which was, we can touch on that if you want to. It's a pretty funny story.
I mean, hey, what's our time, by the way?
3:14.
3:14. Okay, so not even 10 minutes into it, we're already using the R word. Good. Glad to see that. I'm gonna start over just now.
Is there something wrong with the R word?
No.
Take its power back. Do you know rape has become such an epidemic in Africa that they have these things that women insert into their uteruses that it's like a cone shaped and has
All right.
razors on the inside of it?
You're running away with it. I'll be right back. You just keep that up.
Anyway, so shadow people, while Nick is away, he knows what God, I'm having problems with enunciation. I think I had a stroke this morning. Shadow people are just hallucinations. Usually start as auditory hallucinations and then become visual. But for me, it started out with sleep paralysis. And, it was like once a night at most, but it was scary as shit the first time it happened. Basically what looked like a demon standing over me in rehab. And then it would start bumping up, to like 2, 3, 4, sometimes like up to 8 times a night I would have sleep paralysis. So I was already getting no sleep because I was on meth, and then I would be getting sleep paralysis anytime I would try to fall asleep. Eventually, got off the meth, and that's when shit kicked it up a notch, and I actually started having visual and auditory hallucinations, like sober. And I thought I was on the brink of insanity. I would be on my couch in the fetal position, rocking back and forth. Now I joke around like they were my only friends, and I miss them because they were, but... Nick is back, guys.
I've heard, it's sad. I've heard this story, not yours particularly, but this story too many times. I think I caught demon rape. Did you describe what they look like at all, or is it just like the dark figure type of thing?
So sometimes it would look different. Usually it's just like this really tall, blacker than like black figure. Like it's so black when you're in a pitch dark room you can still see it, because it's a hallucination. But
so like black color spectrum black or black skin tone black?
Black color. Yeah, I'm just afraid of black people.
I mean, I don't know. Just to clarify.
No. Color spectrum.
I mean, we had a friend, Purple Mike, who I would consider like a very black person.
No, blacker than any Usain Bolt, But
okay, let's get away from this one as quick as possible.
But yeah, it was, and then I got sober this time around, and I haven't had sleep paralysis or night terrors, and oh my fucking god, my night terrors. So I would have these night terrors where I would be chained up and having like my intestines cut out and pulled out of my body, and I wouldn't wake up like most people would. Everything would just regrow.
So
and it would happen again.
Oh,
arms
man.
cut off, arms regrown, and then happen again, over and over and over.
Who stole the fire? Greek mythology. I forgot. It's not that easy of a name.
It starts with an H or a P.
Hepatitis?
Hepatitis. I've got the clap, you've got the clap, I kissed you and you kissed me back.
I don't remember. Herpecles? Or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's definitely not it. That's not
Let's just
it.
go with that one.
That's not it.
From
But
now on, we are rewriting mythology books. It's Herpecles or
I like
Hepsi.
Pepsi.
For short, Hepsi.
I think it's because he stole the fire. That was his punishment. It was a eagle, or I think it was an eagle, or it might have been a hawk.
Would claw out his eyes and they would regrow. And
It was
a
his
crow.
liver.
It was a crow.
It was a liver.
Then it was a crow.
It wasn't a crow.
Pretty sure it's a crow.
No.
Maybe I'm just confusing
it's
cult TV shows. Why am I... Dude, I cannot pronunciate the O and then W's.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that they taught that in like kindergarten. My
I
5-year-old
was
daughter
in speech
has it
therapy for
nailed.
4 years around that time. So
Am I supposed to feel sorry for you or?
you're supposed to, I don't know, teach me.
I don't know. I can't even speak right.
Oh,
Uh,
show.
I keep forgetting that I have to speak directly into this one.
That gave me an introverted penis. Hearing you that close in my brain. Let's not do that.
This is the SM57 stage mic, not vocal mic, stage mic, because I like the SM57 because I'm a fucking ripple.
Oh, so I was speaking of stage mics, I was watching this thing and it's like, you know what juggalettes are, right? The ICP posse people.
Yeah.
So
Female.
yeah,
version.
the female ones.
Yeah.
They have a beauty pageant and it's not a beauty pageant. None of those. I mean, yeah, would I fuck them? Yeah, but they're not beautiful people. Let's be honest here. And they were interviewing like the last year's winner, and they were like, "What was your talent?" She goes, "I made the mic disappear." Yeah,
Well,
2 mics.
2 mics.
Mm-hmm.
Like took it out or? All right, I have questions. So,
Cordless mic,
cordless mic. Okay. All right, there he is.
ass and vagina.
I mean, if it was a cordless mic, so that means it had the transmitter bottom, which so if you look at this mic, they have it. The SM58 has a wireless version of it. I mean, it depends on what year it was, but it could be this one. Usually the wireless ones, they're about this big around, and they go so this is where it normally would end, but the transmitter bottom goes about to like right here. So it's like I mean,
That seems feasible
oh,
from
yeah,
personal experience.
That's definitely feasible, but it's not an easy feat.
I mean, speak for yourself.
I mean, okay, the average Joe couldn't just do that.
Molding some clay.
Okay. No clay talk.
You said we should just throw it in.
Yeah, okay. No, all right. Let's stick away from pottery. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm tired. What does the time say?
We're gonna have to do this every 10 minutes. It's 3:22.
Okay.
God, I have good eyesight. I think I have a superpower.
Do you have good eyesight?
I do.
You must, because there's no way I could see that even with my glasses on.
3:22.
Just do. Just watching my. See, you always want to be able to see your vocals, so you know that it's registering. Well, that's a good place to sync. And this one goes up in a couple seconds. Yeah. So ideally, you have these running the entire time, but once I get the chords in, I won't have to do that anymore.
Okay. So you like politics to an extent to have. Yeah, my voice cracked. So
It's a special time in your life.
So I've been thinking, and just from what people have been doing, the best way, and there's 2 people that come to mind.
Did you just segue with you like politics?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never heard that. Ever.
Yeah. I mean, we weren't talking about anything else.
I like it. No, but like no, I've never heard. It's usually like not to be political here, or have you heard or seen this? But do you like politics? It's on the. I mean, it's like a better version of you like music.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then person's like, no, I'm that one. I can't remember who does this joke, but it's like, no, I'm that one person. No, I'm Amish. I fucking hate music.
Yeah.
But anyways, do I like politics?
Yeah.
That's weird. No.
So this goes into politics a little bit. I'm still going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like it.
Well,
I think we both like the idea of knowing what's going on just so that we can be better than somebody else in an argument.
the correct answer is yes.
So I've been, with the whole Me Too movement and everything going on
Jesus
lately.
Christ.
Yep. I've been seeing like the best way, like one, I think it's all right. If you were assaulted, my heart goes out to you. But
Bless your heart.
bless your heart. But
In case you don't know, that's Southern for fuck you.
who the fuck hasn't been assaulted in one way or another? I mean, this is just me, and this is just for me and Nick, but quit being a bitch. Two, it's gone insanely far. The pendulum has swung way too far to one side. But like the only way for that I've seen a man who's in the spotlight like Kevin Hart or Trump get out of these situations, just be like, I'm not talking about it, or okay. Like, they don't apologize. They don't say they did it. They just, okay. And the world fucking moves on because there's no fire to feed after that. If someone apologizes, then the fire's to feed to shame them. If someone denies it, then the fire to feed is to shame them because they're denying it, and the woman's always right nowadays. If you just, these people that are just like, okay, or no comment, nothing fucking happens afterwards.
Okay, I was away from the mic, resetting the cameras once again, so I could not stop you. You said two wildly different responses. Trump and Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
All right, so Trump, I mean, his overall response to any accusations are like, fuck you.
Yeah.
All right. That's
Which is basic. Kevin Hart did the same thing.
Did he?
Yeah. He was just like, I'm not talking about that shit. I don't care.
There's a difference between I'm not talking about that shit and like lashing out.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
also, please don't lump Kevin Hart and I don't like either of them really, but like,
I feel like they're the same demographic. This podcast is going to die before it gets off the ground.
All right. I said I don't like Kevin Hart. I love basically all stand up, but the one type that I don't like so much is I don't really like, the only storyteller that I like is Jim Jeffries, and even he's kind of hard for me sometimes. And the reason I like Jim Jeffries so much is because he relates to a lot of like, I don't know, alcoholism and like tumultuous. Dude, that's still not even how you say it. Tumultuous.
Pepsi.
You want to try that one?
Tumultuous.
Neither one of us.
And I don't know what word you're trying to say. So, I like storytellers, but I don't like mimes. And Kevin Hart is a fucking mime. Dan Cook is a mime also.
Dane Cook and yeah, I don't like Dane Cook, and I don't like. Listen, Kevin Hart's talented, and I'll definitely give him that. Dane Cook, I don't know. His
face looks like road rash.
anyone who can bag that many comedy albums, has done something right, and that's whatever. That's all I have to say about that, and nothing else. I personally wouldn't like him. Yeah. But I don't know. There's certain people that can storytell, and they fucking kill it. I mean, I guess George Carlin is kind of, dude. Richard Pryor is a storyteller, and but Richard Pryor is fucking Richard Pryor. And he doesn't just get away with just being Richard Pryor. Like Lenny Bruce is definitely an acquired taste. I like Lenny Bruce. But I don't know. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Just gonna. Let's. So Travis is just picking his finger right now. That seems to be.
Well, I have to do something. My back hurts so bad from carrying this conversation. Oh.
Hey. Whose show is it?
Is that rhetorical?
Technically, I'm supposed to be the guy on the couch, but nobody wants to talk to you.
I don't know why. My roommate said that he could believe that I would murder him in his sleep.
Yeah. So
That's something he would believe that I would do.
So, my wife is familiar with the company that I keep, and and the aura that they bring, and she knows, it doesn't faze her anymore. But the tall, scary, silent, potentially will kill you, murder you, seems to like to be a running theme. And then the running theme is two people, you and Taylor. It's not like I just have like a list of like these tall.
I'm a really
men.
nice guy when you get to know me.
Exactly the same thing. Yeah, you are. You're a fucking teddy bear. But yeah, no. Initial. I see. I kind of knew who you were when we first met. Like, I think we were pretty. It was like pretty instantaneous.
Yeah. Ben was just like, here.
Yeah. But I mean, Ben didn't know any better. I mean, he didn't know. He didn't know for the good either. I mean, not to rip on Ben, but like, I don't think he was that, because me and him never really talked.
Yeah.
Like, we texted a few times, and just to clear things up, so Travis is my sponsor. Ben was my sponsor before that. Ben was unable to be my sponsor because apparently I was too needy.
Ben was my sponsor at one point, and I broke up with him.
Yeah, we both broke up with Ben. He's going through. I think he's going through a crisis over it too. not us per se. He's feeling better about it now. But
he's a good sponsor. He's just I was looking for someone that would call me a bitch, and Ben's too nice to do that.
Yeah, he is too nice, and he was starting to get me to engage my fake Nick, kind of like, I want to please you, so I'll lie to you type of thing. Like, I hadn't yet, but I could feel it.
Well, that wasn't him getting. That was just you feeling uncomfortable because you didn't connect with him.
Yeah. No, it was all me.
Yeah.
But like and it was my fault that I catered that. Anyway, so you're my sponsor. Technically, with this, I am your producer.
This is gonna work out well.
Yeah. And then we're also friends.
And the doctors think we're married.
And the
you want to tell them about that one, Nick?
Sure. What happened? Yeah. So you have neck cancer, and you have a fatty tumor on the back of your neck from eating too much Pizza Hut at 12 o'clock, and you went to go see a doctor and took me with you, which is, in our community, is normal. I mean, because like taking another guy to go to the doctor is.
What
like,
community are you talking about? Because I just said the doctors think we're married, so I mean, let's specify for people listening.
AA or recovery.
No, I just don't like going places by myself.
Okay.
I don't like driving.
Okay, neither.
So
this is where we're gonna have a problem because I don't like driving either.
Yeah.
And which is great for me right now.
I mean, full disclosure, I was just like, I don't want to drive. Who will go?
Well, I'm glad you can rely on me to have. Well, no, I am busy all the time, but So there's what was it? The initial questions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was initial questions, and then in the it's like, are you like any IV? It's like, have you been out of the country in the past 28 days? And you're like, no. Like, any IV use recently, or no? I think just any. What did she say? Past drug use? Or?
Yeah, any past drug use or anything like that. Are you currently using drugs? Are you drinking? All that and whatnot. And then she's asking like, so who is he? And Nick leans over and whispers, life partner. And he's my life partner, out like to her out loud.
And I think the quickness. I think because he said it you said it so quickly that it was like one of those points where I just kind of like took over your brain. like you were like, life partner, fuck what? No.
No, it's because I do that with my roommate.
Oh, okay.
And I don't yeah. All right, so my roommate will be this is my favorite thing to do, and it's not like making fun of homosexuals or gay people or anything. It's because people have such a weird reaction when you take it to the extreme. And that's in any.
Oh yeah, it's okay. So don't get me wrong, it's funny to make fun of other people's lifestyles,
yeah.
Especially when they can't live them out because of bigotry. That's extra funny.
Yeah.
And but what's even more funny is being in the South,
Yeah.
where there's a good chance where they're gonna have a moral I almost said moral obligation. A moral, what's the word I'm looking for? Moral fuck.
Dilemma.
No, I mean it is. It's not the word I'm looking for.
All right. Anyway, fucking type people. All right.
What was that?
That was a yeet.
I don't know what that means.
You know, you want to go down and stand and drink some moonshine? Yeet.
Oh, mountain people.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So there's a difference between rednecks, mountain people.
Oh yeah.
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 I know, yeah.
So anyway, and the funny thing about this is with my roommate, the other person doesn't know when it's going to start, but they can't just like exclude themselves from the scenario. They have to go along with it.
They don't know what's going to start.
When I'm about to go into that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
you're fine.
So like for an example, we were in the Ingles grocery line, and his name's Salem, my roommate, and the cashier goes, "How long have you two known each other?" I was like, "Oh, we're married," and we're not. I don't know where the confusion of that would have been, but we're not. And he looks at me really weird. He's like, "Oh yeah, how long?" And I was like, "About 7 months, you know." And I'm just like, "Yeah, it's going really good, except he's not a generous lover." And I looked at him with daggers in my eyes. And we were just going back and forth. And by the end of it, the cashier looked like he was about to cry. He was a young dude, you know, really polite, but young dude, and just didn't know how to react to the situation. I also took Salem on a date once because his fell through. I took as a third wheel. I went on a date with this girl from Tinder. Salem was as a third wheel, and these games that we play where the other person can't exclude themselves, he just made it as awkward as possible. Like put his arm, acting like he was crazy, put his arm around an invisible woman named LaQuisha, and was like whispering to her, and he's just like, "Oh no, you're beautiful. Stop it. You're making me blush." While this lady who's never met either of us before is just thinking she's about to be murdered.
I've never seen Salem be anything but like AA serious.
Yeah, he only opens up around certain people. He's a very introverted person.
Yeah. So that's like beyond my understanding.
Yeah. And before I was house manager, we were actually in the same room. So we haven't been talking much lately because we're on different schedules, which I think he's sad. But yeah.
How do you think Salem will do on here?
I think it would be either really good or really bad. He has some funny like sex stories. Like, so you're gonna, if I'm going to, like, if anyone's gonna hear this, you're gonna have to edit it out. Well, but like,
I mean, we can just move on. So
yeah.
I don't have. That's just more work.
Okay.
All right. So.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you off mic.
Yeah.
I'll tell you off mic.
Yeah.
About someone else's shit.
Yeah.
I'm good in AA. Let me be your sponsor. All right, I won't tell him off mic.
Okay, yeah, sorry, that didn't even register to me. I'm like, oh, of course you're gonna tell me off mic, but I'm like, wait a second, you're not really supposed to tell me someone else's fucking shit without there.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it too. I just got excited because it's you don't picture Salem, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll have
I
to.
won't. Oh man, fuck.
What the fuck was that?
Hit that salt nicotine a bit too much. All right, I'm putting this away.
Well, now I'm curious. Let me see.
I lost all ability to breathe.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How's this work again?
Just hit the button.
Hit the button and just suck in?
Mm-hmm. You're going to get lightheaded as fuck. You drooled in your beard.
That's too sweet.
Helps with my sweet cravings at night.
Is that like pumpkin pie or something?
No, Butterscotch Reserve. By the way, for those who don't know, I sell vapes.
Ugh.
It's
I don't feel great.
dude, it's 30 milligrams of nicotine
And what?
per milliliter. 30 milligrams per milliliter.
Oh,
That's why I usually don't chain hit it, but sometimes when I have nothing to do with my hands, I'm just like, and I forget that I'm doing it, then I can't breathe. Like what just happened.
that was not enjoyable.
Yeah, you shouldn't smoke salt. Well, I shouldn't say that. I sell salt nicotine. If you've never smoked and you're not a hard smoker with cigarettes, then you shouldn't smoke salt nicotine. Cigarettes.
She smelled like she tasted.
Oh, I made myself cringe super fucking hard yesterday. These guys always come in and they're my regulars and they're Portuguese. They speak hardly any English. One of them speaks like a few words. I caught myself like
They're Portuguese or they speak Portuguese? Brazilians speak Portuguese.
okay, they're probably Brazilian. They look Brazilian. So yeah, they speak Portuguese.
How do you know they speak Portuguese?
Because I can tell.
You're not that You're not that cultured.
Yeah, I can.
You can't tell what the different languages are.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Some like those listen, all right. I've been balls deep in an Argentinian woman.
All right. I'm just trying to.
Which is only about 2 inches in, but get it? It's a small dick joke.
Did you just ask if I understood like the anatomy of a sexual organ and how sex works?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, and I'm catching myself, and I'm like when I talk to them, they don't really understand like full sentences. So I'm saying like key words, nicotine level, or just like nicotine or size, things like that.
Cocaine.
And I catch myself like when I go to say these one words, I started doing, because I was talking to him for like 30 minutes. I started doing it in an accent, and it was the cringiest shit.
Dude, my dad did that.
It was so cringy. I was like, I almost slapped myself, and I was just like, no.
I don't know what it is. I think there's a name for it, but it's where you start adopting the accents that are around you.
Yeah.
I love every time you use your hand. Don't touch me. No. It's too, fuck.
It looks really weird if I let my that's like a week of my nails growing.
I don't know. It's like a baby hand.
Yeah. So in middle school, I was talking to girls. I was like, I want to see my baby hand. And my brother was like, don't say that. Don't ever say that again.
Anyways, what? Fuck, you threw me off. The hand fucks my day up every single time. I need to get that hand cam going. Once I get the tripods in, we're getting that. Well, I think you broke the hand cam tripod. It's gonna fuck with me. I would never play that game with you ever. That would be like the worst lost bet that I ever had.
Would you rather?
No, or the steeple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather fuck a pig or get a hand job from Travis? Not insinuating I would give you one, but maybe like I would detach it and then you could just Dutch rudder it. I don't know. Speaking of what?
Animal fucking?
No, I don't know. I just say speaking of when there's dead.
Oh, that's your
dead noise.
That's your dead noise segue.
Yeah.
We were talking about animal fucking. The origin of mermaids.
Oh, mermaids, yeah.
And I thought it was.
I mean, I could see it.
What did I?
I've been scuba diving with manatees. They're so cute.
Well, the dugong,
the sea cow, the human pussy. That's what their name should be, the human pussy.
So yeah, apparently they've got very similar. I thought it was just because they can't get away and they can't fight.
I mean, they could roll over on you.
That's about it. Like,
yeah.
I don't think there's any such thing as like an aggressive dugong. Like,
and this is where my mind went. We didn't even get through the whole thing, but this is where my mind went with. Like, so these sailors. You want to tell it, or you want me to tell it? I'll tell it. All right.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So these sailors and like pirates, this was like old England Navy. The origin of mermaids came from like these guys fucking manatees and calling them mermaids because they have some of the closest of any mammal to human genitalia. Shit.
I knew that was gonna happen.
And so that's where the origins of mermaids came. And my sick ass mind, I'm on Discord with Nick, and I asked, would you be proud or ashamed if you were able to actually satisfy a manatee?
It's a good question.
Yeah, I think it is a good question. Like,
Because it's a big animal.
yeah.
You know, I'm off mic, so.
Nick is off mic.
Hopefully, I didn't run out on both of them. Nope, I didn't. Perfect. It does mean we got the light fall. They've got to like go back and forth, which is how editing works, anyways. I'd like a third camera. It goes right here.
You chose the wrong route to do that.
You mean this way?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that way. That just looked ridiculous.
You mean versus this way?
Yeah.
I just went that way and made the light fall.
Oh, I thought that was a ghost.
Ghosts. Oh, this brings me to my favorite. I think we talked about this last time. My favorite. No, we didn't. Favorite Family Guy bit.
We didn't talk about it.
Okay, it's when, and my wife hates it because I like repetitive humor, and my favorite Family Guy bit is Peter watches Roadhouse, and in Roadhouse Patrick Swayze roundhouse kicks people, and so then he finds out that Patrick Swayze's roundhouse kick is the answer to everything in his life. And so he starts like roundhouse. Whenever he doesn't like the answer to something, he roundhouse kicks it until he gets the right answer. And there's this one part where he's driving, and he can only roundhouse kick right, so the car is always going right. So he has to like do right hand turns to get home. Or I think that's right. Anyways, it's an overhead view, and all you can see is the car, and he's like Roadhouse, 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 because he says Roadhouse every single time he kicks. And then he gets out of the car, and there's this guy walking by, and these two like shadow creatures coming up again, drag him into the oblivion or whatever, and he just goes, ghosts. And it's I don't know if it's like, I don't know what, I guess that's deadpan.
So one of my favorite skits on anything. Do you watch Key and Peele?
I did.
Is the baby Forrest Whitaker?
No, I never saw it.
It's fucking creepy, and that's why I like it. Because they
Well,
do such a good job. Because Forrest Whitaker is like, in almost all of his movies, he's the same person.
You know, I think I read that he's fucked up in real life.
Yeah.
Like he's really like fucking mean and shit.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Like I think he, dude, I can't really say this. Like allegedly, I think he like beat up his wife or some shit.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's like baby Forrest Whitaker, and he's got the eye and everything, and his mom is going on a date, and he's super creepy. It just looks like a midget with Forrest Whitaker's face, and like he's acting all innocent. Then the mom would leave the room, and he comes in, and he's just talking so much shit. He's like, "I'm gonna fuck you up," and Forrest Whitaker's voice, and like, "You gonna suck my dick," like that type of shit. And yeah, I don't know. It's just super creepy and great.
I never got into Key and Peele. I don't know. I thought it was like
They had to fill the Dave Chappelle hole somehow.
right, and that's an unfill. I don't think people really realize what Dave Chappelle was to comedy and TV and skits. I mean, him and his team were basically, I mean, besides Mr. Show, maybe Kids in the Hall, two things you're probably not familiar with, but I mean, it was Monty Python, Flying Circus, Kids in the Hall, Mr. Show. I don't think it's in that order. It might be in that order. I think Kids in the Hall and Mr. Show were at the same time, and then Dave Chappelle, and like the 4 great fucking like. There's other TV skits, obviously, but those. I mean, for me, those are I think some of the most influential skit comedy shows that have ever been on. And if anyone hasn't seen fucking Kids in the Hall, which is probably the least seen out of all those I just named.
I keep like every time you say Kids in the Hall, I think you're saying Whitest Kids You Know.
No, also huge. Whitest Kids You Know was
Whitest Kids You Know.
Definitely. I think that's up there, but
and then
not.
Trevor Moore just had to go fucking solo.
Is that why they broke up?
I don't know if that's why they broke up. I know he went solo and it wasn't very good. He did some music comedy, which some of them are all right, I guess.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of. I mean, yeah, I get it. I mean, he's probably like. Those shows are all about like having like the right team. And It's like a magic moment type of thing, and like keeping all those people together. I mean, coordinating one person right now isn't that easy, you know. Let alone one person and then a guest. Is and granted we haven't tried so hard, but even getting the first person we had on wasn't that great. And also, wasn't. I mean, actually, I don't know. Art made it pretty easy. He was like, "Hey, this is when I'm available," but like, you know, it didn't. We weren't ready. It didn't turn. You know, that magic wasn't there. But I think we might have Art back on.
I'm doing it.
What are you? Are you writing with your baby hand?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you can't write with it.
I can't, but this pen is it's so sensitive that I can.
Yeah, that's my rehab pen. Did you have rehab pen? You didn't go to rehab that many times, did you?
Twice to like longer than 30 days. And then I was in a bunch of detox places. A bunch.
I've been. So I was at Milan for 28 days. And then I was in the place in Richmond for like a week and a half. I got kicked out for smoking cigarettes and raising hell. Mainly raising hell. Like the smoking cigarettes part was like they're like, all right, this is a fucking nail in the coffin. Get the fuck out of here. Then I went to IOP, drinking every other day, thinking I was getting better too. That's the best part. It was like I was tricking myself into like, dude, I'll get a little bit better. You know, I'm just right now just to get me through the day. Just to get me through the day. And like just making sure I wasn't drinking like the day of. So like that was good. Not drinking the day of IOP. And then of course I'm like, dude, I can't go without drinking. So I would like, all right, make sure I brush my teeth before I go. and like it's a closed room. It doesn't matter how many times.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what. You would have to like drink, even that, like if you drink liquor, it's in your stomach. Like anytime something comes up, it's going to smell it.
And I think I got away with it like one time, and like getting away with it meant that they just didn't confront me then. Like clearly I was, you know, and then finally they're like, you do know you're not supposed to drink before you come here, right? You know, while you're in IOP for drinking. And that was the first time. Well, it was the second time I got the bipolar diagnosis. And the first time I was like, fuck you. I'm not bipolar.
But I love you.
But and then and then that time it was for the people who worked there were incredible. They were extremely intelligent, and they had a really cool team. They had one person who did talk therapy, another person who did the psychiatry of it, and them together. Because usually it's always like two separate people, but like usually it's two separate fucking things, you know. And their opinions are usually wildly different. The psychiatrist is usually like, "Hey, you want some drugs? You know, here's some fucking drugs." And they were not like that, and they did not want to give me drugs unless they thought it was essential. And that was the first time I heard that they're like, you should be taking lithium, or the other version, or the other one. And I had like a huge mental breakdown, and I was like, I no. And then I went to the ranch where Anthony Weiner went for sex addiction.
I've heard about the ranch.
And also with a lot of Hasidic Jews there for sex addiction, or sexual misconduct, and I don't know what that was about. I've talked to a couple of people in the Jewish community about it, and
we just went hard on their Bar mitzvah, man.
So these were like rabbis.
Fingered a bunch of.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. The rabbis went hard on in the bar mitzvah.
Okay. No, this is not a. Don't get me wrong. There's diddling in all communities, but this is not. Well, this isn't the fucking Catholic Church. No, this was
the Catholic Church. They can't rape us all. All right, sorry.
Okay.
I'll let you talk
Hashtag.
now.
I don't know. That's beautiful. Yeah, let's raid the Vatican. And apparently it's basically people who get caught jerking off, and like in the Hasidic community, it's like hugely frowned upon. So their answer is rehab, which we all know rehab is the answers to all your problems. Okay, that one's about to go.
356.
Yeah, I got it. I got it going from it's set to that one. Anyways, went to the ranch. Anthony Weiner, a bunch of famous rappers were there. They weren't there when I was there. Somebody famous was there, but I don't remember who. Oh, you know who was at Milam? And I don't mind speaking about them because maybe I shouldn't. Anyway, they were from a reality show on History Channel. Yeah,
Steve Irwin. Ghost.
Ghost. No, not Steve Irwin. But yeah, and he stayed longer than he was supposed to, and come to find out it's because he was banging somebody there, which does not happen a lot in rehab. It happens a lot in crappy rehabs.
My friend banged his therapist.
That does happen in crappy rehabs. The ranch was not a crappy rehab. It was a very good rehab, and I got almost 2 years of sobriety from the ranch. I mean,
good rehabs aren't co-ed.
This one was, but I don't know. Here, one second.
So while he's walking over there, I don't know how fucked up show business is. So where I went to rehab was where Dr. Phil sends all of his people, which, I'm not going to say the name of the place I went, but you can easily just search up where does Dr. Phil send people. And so we had a lot of guests there. And, listen, I watched Dr. Phil religiously. I liked that show for whatever reason.
Dude, is that why you were, all freaking out on me the other day when I was talking about Dr. Phil?
Yeah.
It was last night or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a reference to fucking Dr. Phil, and he, jumped down my throat about how much of a piece of shit he is.
Yeah.
And it was just a broad fucking reference.
Yeah, so all these people, while I was there was probably, 8 or so that was on Dr. Phil. So when you're watching the show and the news cameras are following the people around at their house and their regular life, these fucking news cameras are literally shoving drugs down these kids' throats to get good shots. If the kids are like, no, I really want to get clean, I don't want to use anymore, they're like, well, if you want to get on Dr. Phil, you need to take this heroin. And are giving it to them.
Ah, that is a big no-no.
Yeah.
It's a huge no-no in the community.
So the one that I was thinking of, these people got alcohol poisoning. They
This table's so lopsided.
Yeah, they got alcohol poisoning because they didn't want to drink anymore. They really wanted to get clean. And they want to get on Dr. Phil. They didn't even want to. Their parents and grandma wanted them to get on there. It was writing to them, and the news camera shows up, and they're like, no, we don't want to drink anymore. We just feel so ill and all this stuff. And the news camera.
You know what it reminds me of? Is it, who is it? Anyways, they're doing a commercial for ham sandwiches or some shit.
No.
And they've got to keep eating the fucking ham sandwich.
So the news crew, the producers, right, are no, we got to get another shot. And they've gotten the shot. They got the shot the first time. What they wanted is to see these people puking in the bathroom, blackout drunk.
Right. You put in such. I don't puke.
Yeah. So they're like, no, we got to get another shot. We got to get another camera shot. So and when they're like, we don't want to drink anymore, they're like, well, we'll leave. You just can't be on the show. So they're basically, to get on the show, they have to take all these shots to the point where they get alcohol poisoning. The girlfriend runs up to the room, and they have a shot of this up to the bathroom, up the stairs, and the camera crew goes and follows her, shoves their foot in the door to where they can't close it, and films her puking through the door. And then you only see Dr. Phil for about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. That's about it. He doesn't see you before or after the show. You talk to the producers and everything. You get on, sit in the chair. Dr. Phil walks on. They get what they need. He walks off. You don't see him at all before or after. And it's about 10 minutes at most.
Huh. Well, good for him for getting all that fucking solid camera work done so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, from a, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm only amateur.
I mean, if you actually watch Dr. Phil, every 30 seconds is a commercial. Literally, every 30 to 45 seconds.
I know, I get it. Like, I understand that 10 minutes is actually more time than they actually have on, but like, I mean, still, I mean, a lot of times in like TV, even this, like 2 hours translates to like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, like podcast is different because it's you know, stream of consciousness type of thing. But like, if I was to, I don't know, edit for like a certain theme or whatever, or a content, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Anyways.
And I also don't think this was Dr. Phil's idea when the show came out, that this is not where he wanted it to go, but he's kind of in between a rock and a hard place also. Like, this is his living. I mean, he does do good. He sends people to good rehabs. He gets people like jobs and stuff, but the show does. He just, once they're on the show, like, they're in, you know, they get something out of it.
Yeah.
There's one guy, and he was in a documentary. He was living in the tunnels of Las Vegas. He actually works at the rehab I went to. But they were like, hey, if you come on the show, we really want you on here, and we're going to do this small little documentary about you. We'll buy you a paid-for house, or we'll send you to rehab. And he picked rehab. Still sober.
Good. Yeah. I like to hear that. Rehab does not get you sober, though.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Doing the shit.
But
yeah.
A lot of times you have to go to rehab to get sober.
Yeah.
It's just one of the many steps into potential sobriety. And
it's like step 0.1.
It feels like it's the biggest.
Yeah.
When you do it.
Yeah, and then like if you're in a good rehab where you're getting clarity and you're learning some things, the day comes around like where you're about to leave and you're just like, oh yeah, I've been in a bubble for at least 2 to 3 months, and life is about to hit me in the fucking face.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking about when you're like, good rehab isn't co-ed. I like rehabs that are as of right now. I like rehabs that, and don't get me wrong, some people I feel like kind of have to do there's got to be different rehabs for different conditions.
Yeah, I want to be able to focus in a co-ed. I've been to co-ed, and first day, well, it was like my first week, not first day. I was like, man, that girl, I want to fuck her so bad, but she's been and I'm talking to this guy who I got kind of close with. She's been fucking that military guy over there, and the guy I was talking to goes, yeah, that's my sister. It was a brother sister in rehab.
I've never been around a brother sister. No, I liked the one I was in. It was I was trying to say is the rehab I like style I like the most is the one that's closest to what is real life and or can lead you to it. You know, so there's less of that bubble because it really is like culture shock. Like even the one that I went to, there were people that were able to like drive while they stayed at the rehab house.
Well, the ranch can go up to like 9 months, right?
The ranch is okay. So and the ranch is now defunct, but the ranch was different where everything was done there. Yeah. Like you weren't, if you left without somebody, or even you're even with somebody that wasn't part of the main shit, you were getting kicked out. Like that's just wasn't they didn't want any situation where somebody had a chance to bring anything on because people were still at meetings, you know, getting stuff or whatever, blah 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 blah. The good thing about the ranch is like a lot of local people didn't come there. You know, it was like a kind of national international rehab, so you didn't have to worry too much about local traffic. Even though they still had family days, which is like, all right,
the ranch got shut down, didn't it?
It did,
yeah,
for insurance reasons, but not because of practices.
So, I was gonna say something.
What, dude? I just keep fucking everything up. Fucking lights. Dude, I just bent down and smelled my ass. Jesus, I need a fucking shower.
It's hot. All right. Fuck, dude. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
It was a good story.
Do I have to run back to my mic to fill time with how bad my ass smells?
Yeah, do that.
I can't. I have to do the camera. My ass smells bad. Real bad! Fuck. I got here 2 minutes early. That's a long time. Oh well. Solid.
My dad. This isn't the story I was thinking of, but my dad would schedule his rehab visit. He would go to rehab every year for a little vacay, you know, let his livers and kidneys get a little.
In our family, we call it summer camp.
Yeah, get a little, you know, detoxified before he went completely jaundiced. But he would schedule them with his rehab fling, so they would make sure that they got there on the same day. And they would. It's the one he sent me to, or it's the only rehab I knew of. So I was like, I'll go to that one. That's why it was co-ed. It was a co-ed rehab, but like they would just like fuck the entire time they were there. And yeah, married. I don't know. He was. Yeah. Never mind. I'm not gonna get into that whole discussion. But because he was gay. But
Daddy.
God.
Yeah?
No, I can't remember.
Oh, you're still
Yeah.
circling your brain for the story.
It seems like
Oh,
a
okay.
good one too.
That's okay. That's
You
it.
thought I was saying
I was like,
fuck
I don't.
because of that.
No, I thought you were out. Like you were like, don't know where to go from here. I was like, this is a bad time. I don't know, what were we talking about? We were talking about rehab, and Forrest Whitaker.
My brother went to the same.
Wait a second. Hi, sweetie.
Daddy,
Yeah.
are you gonna make dinner? It's getting late.
What time is it?
My mom didn't ask that. Okay?
All right. Yeah. I'll make dinner.
It's getting late, so just make dinner.
Jesus Christ. 5 going on 15.
She didn't even say hi to me this time.
She's not interested. All right. Yeah. Take a break.
Well, I mean, I might head out if you're gonna go cook dinner.
Do you wanna try and end it? Is that what it?
How much time do we have? I mean, you got to go cook. This is just for us anyway. For me to have mic time. It's not like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You just want to call it?
Yeah.
All right.
You just call it.
Call it.
I'm just getting comfortable with
a dead story.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's not like this is actually our content. We talked last night about what this was for.
Yeah. No, but you want to, get in the habit of,
Yeah.
doing that.
Anyway, the story I was gonna be is how my rehab got how my brother got out of rehab